Ladies and gentlemen, have we solved the Jay SLATER case, but we just don't know it? So many different conspiracies spreading like wildfire. Many different people have a variety of different opinions. There are some people that feel like they know the truth. There are people out there that feel like they will never ever get to the truth. In one of the last videos we've done, we reacted to Bobs and Bits off TikTok, and a lot of people were interested in what he had to say. He is back again with another theory. He believes that he has solved the Jay SLATER case. Let's check this out.
Guys, I believe that I finally know what's happened to Jay SLATER. Now, not just on my own, but I've got a close contact in Tenerife who's given me loads of information about what goes on over there, the stuff that people on the street are not allowed to talk about or don't want to talk about for fear of repercussions. And also, this person has got a close personal relationship with a member of the Guardia Civil, so they know exactly what goes on from top to bottom. Now,
this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this. Make sure you hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel if we are newly watching, and make sure you turn your notification bells on. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, you can click on the thanks tab down below. I much appreciate every single one of you.
Now, this person is obviously going to remain anonymous for obvious reasons. It's too dangerous. This person has to live over there. Do you know what I mean? But between us, we believe we've finally got to the bottom of this. Now, I will pre-warn you, this video is going to be quite long because there's a lot to get through. But I promise you all, by the end of this whole Jay SLATER thing is going to make perfect sense. It's going to become crystal clear. Firstly, a quick mention about the police in Tenerife and how they operate, okay, because of all the corruption talk as well. So you've got three main divisions of police in Tenerife. You've got the local police, the national police, and the Guardia Civil. The Guardia Civil is like a military police, okay? But there's also a more lesser-known fourth division that no one really talks about, and they only operate out of mainland Spain. They come over when stuff is really bad. It's always focused, it's always targeted. They know who they're going for, and they get in, get the job done, and get out. Now, these are heavy-duty guys. They're like a SWAT team, okay? And the locals refer to them as the ninja police, okay? They carry submachine guns. These are heavy guys. The local police, they tend to deal with like traffic stops and like minor infringements and parking and all that kind of rubbish in towns and centres and stuff, the low level stuff. The national police, they come in to deal with serious crime, okay?
To be fair, it sounds like he's describing exactly what we've got here in the UK. I mean, we've got community officers, we've got police, we've got CID, we've got Trident, we've got a variety of different police, and they all deal with different types of crimes.
You know what that means. The Guardia Civil, they tend to patrol the motorways. They tend to be involved in like mountain rescue and all that kind of stuff, right? So what happens is they all have their own remit or area or jurisdiction. So if something happens on one of their patch or one of their jurisdictions, a crime, if it's another police that witnesses this or knows about that, they're more likely to turn a blind eye and not get involved and not even report it as a crime for prosecution. Having said that, within their own jurisdiction, Spanish police take zero crap. They've got a no-tolerance policy to disrespect, okay? They all carry handguns, and they've got their own ways of doing things, very different to the UK police. So it has been known before where Spanish police will arrest a criminal, and if they wronged the family, they will hand that criminal back to the family to deal their own justice. And also, drunken UK lager louts who've been arrested have been thrown into a cell which is like resembles like 4 brick walls with no amenities till the morning, so no human rights basically. And right through these three divisions of police, just like in the UK, you'll get certain members who are open to bribes. Also in Tenerife, you've got two types of mafia, a good mafia and a bad mafia. Now the good mafia, I don't even know why they're called mafia, because the good people, they tend to work alongside local police, you know, on a business level, making sure that businesses like keep with their license agreements and shut at the right times, music pollution, all that kind of jazz, you know. The good people, they look after women and children. Then there's the bad mafia. Now, I've got to be really careful what I say about this because I know too much about this, so TikTok could well take this video down because of this. But the bad mafia is what people in Tenerife will not talk about or daren't talk about, because these are really scary, nasty, dangerous people, okay? So if you were to go interview anybody in Tenerife, they wouldn't even admit that a bad mafia even exists. That's how bad it is. And they can walk past you in the street and you wouldn't even know who they are. Okay, they're responsible for all the narcotics over there, the trafficking, you name it. And they are not Tenerife nationals, okay? Now, the bad mafia used to be owned and controlled by a guy called Johnny Palmer. His life was taken.
I remember the recent video that we done with Dave Courtney and his friends, and they were telling us their story and their experience in Tenerife with their family and what actually happened to them For those that haven't seen that video, I would definitely advise you to check it out after this one. Explaining that story that John Palmer and another guy called Mohammed Dama, they were trying to take control of Tenerife, or they were in control of Tenerife. If John Palmer has passed away or he's died from being murdered or whatever the case may be, you can only assume that this Mohammed Dama is the guy that now runs Tenerife. He is a Moroccan, by the way.
His life was taken quite a while ago, and then in stepped a guy and his son. I know the names of these people, but obviously I'm never going to say that. So these operate the Bad Mafia. These operate all the narcotics that go on in Tenerife, and they can also make people disappear. So, based on everything I've just told you, a Facebook post was put out in Tenerife by an apparent mule of this Bad Mafia, okay? Because he wanted the truth out there around the time of Jay's disappearance. Now, this mule worked alongside Ayub, Lucy May, and others. Now, my contact in Tenerife managed to screenshot this because it got taken down almost immediately. But they managed to screenshot the entire post, okay? Now,
and I think this is a post that we've already reacted to. But
what I've done is, instead of putting the screenshots on here, you might struggle to see them or read them in time or whatever. So I've printed them all out here, okay? I've printed them out. I'm going to read them to you as quickly as I can, okay? And when I read them to you, we'll speak after. Lucy May is not innocent at all. I am a close associate to Lucy and others in Tenerife and the Ibiza area. Rumours are true. Lucy is a drug mule. We work together, about 20 of us split into groups, half to Ibiza, half to Tenerife. This is our job. We get brought out every event or any month in general to deal. Depending on who you are, how long you've been doing it, or what you've done, you will get paid differently. Lucy is more the top dog in it. She gets paid 25 grand a month to deal and sell. About 10 of us get 14 grand and new recruits get 5 grand.
I mean, the money that they're mentioning here is quite a lot of money, and the lifestyle that these people are living don't really match up to the amount of money that they're being paid. However, I would say that Lucy, and it's confirmation and evidence to prove this, over the past 2 years has been on more holidays than most people watching this have had hot dinners. Yeah, I mean, it is questionable. I guess I'm looking at this from a materialistic point of view. Not everyone is materialistic. Not everyone wants designers, and not everyone wants to live that kind of flashy lifestyle. They might want to be subtle with what they're doing. Doesn't mean they're not making as much as 25 grand a month. But I have to say, 25 grand a month is a lot of money, and that's life-changing money for the average person in the UK.
Lucy met Jay at a festival and started discussing with him over Snapchat about how much we make doing all this, how it's a luxury, and we basically live the life.
So this point of the statement is interesting because they mention the word Snapchat, and we do know that these guys were heavily using Snapchat. And I have to add that this statement appeared within like the first week of Jay going missing. So it's really, really early.
Depending on who you are, how long you've been doing it, or what you've done, you will get paid differently. Lucy is more the top dog in it. She gets paid 25 grand a month to deal and sell. About 10 of us get 14 grand and new recruits get 5 grand. Lucy met Jay at a festival and started discussing with him over Snapchat about how much we make doing all this, how it's a luxury, and we basically live the life.
Also, what I wanted to mention is the first kind of images that we see of Jay, Brad, and Lucy together are at the 2023 Creamfields Festival. There's no pictures or no videos of them three before that, but after that Creamfields Festival in 2023, that's when we see more videos and more images of them together. What's extremely interesting is I was struggling to find videos and images of Brad and Jay, and prior to that Creamfields Festival, I ain't found or seen any pictures of Brad and Jay together. Rachel Hargreaves dedicated a TikTok page to Brad and Jay's relationship. I was hoping to see pictures of them when they were really, really young, pictures of them when they were young teenagers perhaps, but no. The first picture that she was putting up was when they were at the Creamfields Festival. She continued to use that imagery, but then she posted another picture of maybe Brad's birthday and Jay was there. Jay was sitting next to him. And you can tell based on the way they look, they don't look any younger than they were at the Creamfields Festival. So it had to be around that period of time. So again, from that festival in Creamfields in 2023, their relationships could have been building and they could have been selling food together as a small collective, as a small team at a variety of different festivals in the UK. And then Jay decided to take it to Tenerife.
Jay came along to Tenerife and met me and Lucy there. Lucy explained the dangers
Now that's extremely interesting. Jay come to Tenerife and met me and Lucy there. We've been told from the beginning that Jay traveled to Tenerife with 2 of his friends. What's extremely interesting is Brad's released a video of him and Jay on the plane, clearly going to Tenerife. Lucy wasn't sitting next to them, and there was no other footage of them on the plane with Lucy or near the airport with Lucy or any footage with Lucy. So at this point, this kind of makes sense. Lucy was already there. Allegedly, Brandon was already there, and Brad and Jay together went to Tenerife.
Jay, if we mess up, we're basically gone. Our bosses take disrespect to heart and do not tread lightly. We know this from past experiences and what we've witnessed. We got dropped off backpacks of packs, estimated 17 grand to sell and dish at the festival, or in the streets in general. There was 5 bags, and we got given designated bag holders who would have the bag 24/7. Then take out however much anyone needed. Lucy had a bag along with me and also Jay. We separate into groups and go our ways to sell. Lucy then gets a phone call from Jay at about 3 a.m. Monday morning, him crying, saying he's lost the bag. Lucy didn't think anything of it until he told her that he's taken half of them for himself already and the bag was stolen.
Wow. So he claims that he had taken half of the food. That can explain why he looked so out of his face. That can also explain why the bartender said he looked extremely unwell. And it could explain why he went missing shortly after that festival.
Of course, we all panic as our lives are at stake here. This is someone's business and we've lost them 6 grand. We go and meet Jay and Lucy tells him how she doesn't know what she's going to do or what she's even going to say. At around 5 a.m, our bosses ring as that's the time they come to our current location to collect the remaining packages and the money. Lucy didn't tell him on the phone that Jay had taken half already and lost the bag on top of that. Around 30 minutes later, they come to collect and realise there's only 4 bags. We all get questioned, and that's when Lucy explains to him what Jay has done.
Now, the timing of this is so bang on. Why? Because we were told by Ayab that they had a pit stop about 5:30 before they got to the Airbnb. A pit stop. That's what they said. However, this person is confirming that the transaction between the bosses and the mules took place at 5 to 5:30. So their timeline sits correctly on top of Ayab's. But we just don't have any evidence of Ayab making this pit stop. No one's looked into that pit stop. He claims there was Pepsis and water that was bought at the pit stop. Is there a receipt to confirm that? Is there CCTV to confirm that?
He went back to his car and got straight onto the phone, and Lucy said to Jay, "See, I told you it'd be all right." About 2 minutes later, he comes back and tells us all to turn round. He tells us we either find them 30 grand right now or we're all getting ended. At this point, Lucy...
I thought it was 6 grand though. So why has it gone up to 30 grand?
Lucy starts crying and tries to reason with him, begging him. Lucy tells him we haven't got that much money on us, and even if we did, we wouldn't be able to get it in time. The man gets back onto the phone and starts speaking Moroccan.
Starts speaking Moroccan.
Off and tells us the boss wants one of us until we get the money as collateral. We try again reasoning with him and offer him something else. After failed attempts, the man says he's taking Jay as he's the one who's done the damage. After Lucy was perfectly fine and stopped worrying all of a sudden, we all sat down and explained.
She stopped worrying all of a sudden. They've took Jay and she stopped worrying all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if I believe that. But it does make sense as to why she would have filed a missing persons report at 9 o'clock in the morning, especially if this happened at 5:30. But then again, if this was that serious, would she then go and file a missing persons report? Would she then go on camera 2-3 days later saying that we need the UK police here? I mean, that's putting your life in danger. If what this guy is saying is gospel, I really don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
Now, how are we going to resolve this? Nothing like this has ever happened before.
But then saying that, she didn't show her face on the camera, did she? And maybe they only know her by face. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, they might know her by face. Remember, in Tenerife, there's a lot of Northerners up there. But then again, if she's got a strong relationship with them, they would definitely recognize her voice. Or she was advised to do it. It means if she would have done it and then filed a missing persons report and she was advised to do it, it's because they knew they weren't getting Jay back.
We get a phone call saying if we don't get them the money, then Jay's ending. Lucy said we are going to get into so much trouble and suggested we just go home right now, but we couldn't as they now had people watching us from every step we took. We have never had this happen to us in all the years of doing this job. Our bosses do not play. They are dangerous people and do not give anything a second thought. We have no idea where they have him. Lucy then goes into Jay's bedroom and gets his phone that he left on charge. I can 100% confirm his phone was not about to die and was at good percentage. Lucy
That's another weird one. You're telling me that Jay went to NRG without his phone. Is that what you're saying? He went without his phone. He left his phone at home on charge. So they had his phone the whole time. That's basically what that indicates. But for some reason, I just can't believe that Jay left his phone at home on charge and went to the NRG festival to have fun. One thing we can say is in all the footage that we see of Jay in the NRG festival, we don't see him with a phone, not once. I did not see Jay with a phone in his hand, not once. So it could be possible that Jay did leave his phone at home on charge.
then starts explaining how people are going to realise and start ringing him and looking for him. We got a taxi and went to the deepest into the mountains, where Lucy opens Jay's phone and leaves it on the floor. We then drive back. At this point, it's coming up to about 7:30 a.m. We are still getting phone calls and messages threatening our lives. Lucy then phones Jay's mum and explains to her what he's done. She starts crying, saying, I told him not to be fucking about out there, just basically saying she warned him. Whilst discussing how they're going to get the money, Jay's mum tells Lucy that they need to get the word out there, but we need to completely flip the whole thing. Lucy then calls the police and tells them that Jay called her, which he never did once, and tells them he's lost. Again, not true. It's around 8:30 now, coming up to 9, and still have no idea what to do. We haven't seen Jay, we haven't spoken to Jay, nothing. Then it starts up in the news and everyone starts showing support and love, and Lucy suggests we just get the ones who are actually supporting to just donate to find him. As Lucy said, we aren't spending none of our money. Please bear in mind, we get paid about 75 grand every single month, depending on how good it is. Please, you must understand Lucy is totally guilty and his mother is too. I want no involvement in this. I came to work and get money and not to be dragged into a situation where
no one's dragged you into anything. You've put yourself in it. And this is another reason why I can't take this statement as gospel. I have to take it with a pinch of salt, because this person has literally put this statement out there and said, I don't want to be dragged into anything. So why did you put the statement out there then? Make it make sense. Another thing I wanted to add is there was no mention of Brad. There was no mention of Ahab. There was no mention of Ahab's mates. Like, they were with Jay. They confirmed that they were with Jay. How is there no mention of them? I have to say, I'm not agreeing with this narrative. And even the bag theory is questionable to me at this moment in time. I know I've been extremely adamant on the bag theory, and I've been, pushing that footage to you guys about the bag theory. Again, I've been rewatching that footage, various different screens, on my phone, on the TV screen, on my laptop, on my iMac, literally on everything. And Jay has a bag. He has a bag on his left shoulder. You see it as he's coming up. You see it dangling down on his left shoulder, especially as he turns to give the person what I believed to be the bag. I think he actually gave that guy glasses. If that is the case, it makes sense as to why he come up off the floor, because he could have been picking up the guy's glasses. He then turns to the left, which shows us his right profile, and therefore we don't see the bag still hanging on his left shoulder. I could have got it wrong in that footage. He definitely had a bag, but did he give the bag to that guy, or did he give that guy glasses?
Someone I'm not even familiar with robs with the mafia. We're all at risk. We could all get ended at any moment. I don't know what else to say to make people believe me, but I hugely hope that you do believe everything. I've tried to say everything as it happened. So in conclusion, guys, the Bad Mafia took him, which is mainly made up of Albanians and Moroccans. Lucy May breathes a sigh of relief, because now they've got him, it's just about the money and raising the money, which they can do that. Jay Slater's mum was made aware from these people from day one, as soon as she got off the plane, we've got him and we want this money. They all knew that the Mafia were never going to release Jay, never. Because as a 19-year-old lad, he'll go out there and he'll probably start blabbing someone. They can't take that risk of him blabbing. So he was never ever going to come back, and they're all aware of that. And it's well known in Tenerife by people that know what the Bad Mafia...
I mean, that doesn't make any sense either. That doesn't make any sense. And I mean, that for me eliminates this theory. It eliminates the theory. The reason I say that is because it just doesn't make any sense. That theory doesn't make any sense. They stuck it on Lucy. They took Jay. They said they wanted 30K, but then decided that they were never going to give Jay back. And like I said earlier, there's no mention of Brad, Brandon, Ayub, or any of the other members of that gang. It just seems like this person has decided to put all the blame on Lucy because Lucy's the one that come out with the initial statements. Statements didn't make sense, so people try to make it make sense. And unfortunately, this theory, in my opinion, just goes out the window. I don't believe this one. Guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this theory in particular. Do you believe this mole who come out and told us that Lucy is a drug mule and they're making 75 or 25K a week or a month or whatever it is? The Moroccans took Jay because he lost the bag and he was smoking the food. They told Lucy that she needs to cough up 30K, and if they don't, then they're never going to see Jay again, and then decided that they're never going to see Jay again, even if they coughed up the 30K, because he's got a big mouth and he might go out there and say something about what happened. I don't think it's that deep as that theory makes out about the drugs and the Moroccans taking him and X, Y, and Z. I mean, I could be wrong, but there is an avenue that I want to go down. There is a particular person that I am looking at this moment in time. It's going to be interesting to see what I can find out on this person. Guys, comment down below. I need to know everything you're thinking right now about this theory. Do you believe in this, or do you think this is a myth? Make sure we hit that like button. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, so tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this video if you can as well, and turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.